Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Anna Nestorenko, Associate Pastor at Impact Church. We're doing something a little bit different right now. I have reached out to all the candidates running for Upper Township School Board. At this point, I have not heard from any of them except for, I'm so happy to say, Jeff Trulli. I'm excited to just interview him for a couple minutes today to give the community an understanding of what he stands for. I believe that as a community, we need to be educated when we do vote and not vote blindly, right? We need to know the values that each candidate stands for so that we can make our the best decision that we can when we go and we vote in the fall, in November. So Jeff Trulli, I am so happy that you are here with us. Can you give me a little bit of your background, a little bit about yourself, and basically why did you choose to run for Upper Township School Board?
Thank you, Pastor Anna, for inviting me. Just a brief summary, and I'm going to put my glasses on so I stay on track and read. I'm a resident of Upper Township for over 25 years. I have 4 children, 1 beautiful granddaughter. All have been through Upper Township schools. All have graduated from Ocean City High School. Upper Township is a great community to raise a family. A great community has plenty of things to offer. We have the beaches close by, and we have good schools. So to your question is, why am I running? Being a little bit older than most of the school members currently, I believe I can bring a fresh insight and common sense to tough issues that are happening today. Parents want to know what is happening to their in their child's school, and we need to give them answers with, above all, transparency. Before I do get into specifics and what we're running on, let me say we have many great teachers in Upper Township, teachers that have committed lifelong to teaching students. So my hats are off to them and for their commitment. So as we go on, my criticism is mostly from the federal and the state level that mandates what policies that may not line up with the values of Upper Township citizens, and they might not also line up with, as well as the parents' teachers. And I feel there is a bullying and intimidation factor that way if you differ. So again, we can have a discussion on important factors that way. So,
well, great, thank you for that. So obviously the school board has to deal with academics because the school, that's what our students are supposed to be there for, academics. So how do you feel the school is doing academically and maybe making use of their time? Any thoughts on the subject?
Well, in looking at some research, I mean, we should be happy for how we rank in I believe in reading, we're in the top 30% in the state. Math, top 50%. But if we all look, and I think this is not only true of Upper Township, probably nationally, if you look on a graph, we're on the downslope since COVID. Okay, many reasons why. Some are obvious, but there is, and we could get into other things. I think the socialization and bringing things that don't belong in class and into schools are squeezing the actual education that matters to students and to parents. So in one sense, we're doing okay, and we always want to strive. Even if those numbers were better, we always want to strive to be better.
Okay, great. In the news, we've been hearing about other school boards in New Jersey wanting to change Policy 5756. This is regarding public social transition accommodations in school. Basically, when a child wants to change their public name, identity, or pronouns, as well as bathroom or locker room accommodations, all without parental knowledge or consent. What is your position on parental rights in the school in regards to kids transitioning and parents not being informed about it?
That's a lot. Okay. One of the things that I'm running on is parental rights. And let me say, the number one safe spot for children is their home and their parents. Now, I'm not naive to say that there are situations where things happen, and we're not talking about that. But we also cannot, schools need to inform parents in all matters of their children. Okay, I know the internet and social media that children are into things, and they're smart. They know how to shield from their parents. They are into things that they shouldn't be. And through that, some hard things happen and problems happen, and unfortunately get thrown at the doorstep of the schools. And then at that point, if a kid, getting back to what you had just asked, if a kid is so-called gender confused with all these influencers, the school still's number one contact must be parents and not some ideologue that thinks they know what's best for parents. And I feel very strongly about this because there are some horrific things that have happened statewide, nationally with that. So that's kind of where I stand for that, is that parents are the number one line of defense for children.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that parents should have a greater say on what their child is learning and not leaving it all to the government or the school system. Is that true? Is that am I hearing correctly?
Yes. And that's gets me to one of the other points that I'm running on as well. It's teaching age-appropriate material. I know we have opt-out laws for phys ed, but there are also other subjects that do not have opt-out laws, that there might be some subject matter of diversity, inclusion, whatever, that's embedded. And I don't think that parents should be a sleuth that they have to go and dig deep to make sure these things are happening. And that's why I said transparency is of the utmost importance. So, as I said, with that, and seems to me more importantly, is that we're sexualizing our kids at earlier and earlier ages. Ages I believe that kids are not emotionally or psychologically equipped to handle. And when these things are brought up as a discussion, you're closed down, you're shut down. And this should be a red flag, is that why can't we have these discussions? And that's what I see. They need to come to the table and let's talk about what it is, because that's not everyone's values. So when we shut down, when we bully, and let me say this, I believe there's not enough diversification, and that's diversification of thought and values that parents bring. There's not one direction. And this is not a Democrat, not a Republican issue. I've talked to many parents, grandparents over the last couple of weeks that are concerned. We don't talk political party. It's nothing to do with that. It's what are your values? What do you think about what's going on? So part of my running here is to bring an openness, very toxic subjects that we're talking about. Why can't we speak frankly to each other?
Okay, last question. Jeff Trulli, why should we vote for you?
Again, getting back to why I'm running. Lastly, and most importantly to me, protecting innocence. This means protecting children and teaching things that they need to know at the proper times. Just as we wouldn't let a child go in the water if they're a younger kid and into the deep water, we should have a safeguard there and use wisdom. Another thing that I think is gone. So there's an old proverb that says, train up a child in the way that he should go or she should go, and when they're older, they won't depart. So I think that we have a heavy responsibility as board members, as parents, as community, living in this community, to take all these issues serious. So I would say that if these values line up with you, I would love your vote. If they don't, there's other candidates out there, and I appreciate your time to listen to this. Thank you, Pastor Anna.
Wonderful. Well, Jeff, truly, we truly appreciate you coming, sharing some of the values that you hold and what you stand for, and what you would, how you would represent this community if you were on the school board. for Upper Township. I do hope that the other candidates will also join us here and share what they are standing for. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.